thank Dr. Mandara, who has just spoken before me. And I want to thank the Mass Public Opinion Institute for this invitation. As I always say, we do not take this invitation for granted. The topic, as the doctor has said, says the last lap. That's the beginning, the first words of the topic, the last lap. Will Zimbabwe have quality elections and an undisputed outcome? The MDC Alliance hopes that we are 3 days from freedom, total freedom of our people. We are 3 days from genuine efforts to end the poverty that has debilitated this country. We are 3 days from ending the problem of unemployment. And we are 3 days from ending an unelected and unaccountable leadership. That's our hope as the MDC. And we say so because of our demonstrated capacity as the MDC to deliver what we promise. In 2008, in 2009 rather, we went into the inclusive government principally for 3 things. First, we wanted to fix the economy, or at least to ameliorate the economic suffering of our people. Secondly, we wanted to end violence that had started in this country. And number 3, we wanted a people-driven and democratic constitution. True to our promise, when we got into the inclusive government, the economic life of the Zimbabwean person changed for the better. This is an objectively verifiable fact. Again, it is true that the levels of violence went down, and this year we have not seen any basis. Of course, what we have seen are the threats that I'm going to talk about. So the levels of violence went down as a result of the MDC participation. Number 3, it is common cause that we came up with a people-driven democratic constitution. It has its imperfections, and I will be the first one to tell you this because I was involved in it. It has certain clauses that I did not approve of. It has certain clauses that I could not approve of had I been alone drafting that constitution. But it is a document, it is a consensus document. Even my opponents have rights too. Even my opponents have interests too. Even our opponents have certain expectations that may be different from ours. But we do have a people-driven democratic constitution. So 3 out of 3, the MDC delivered or caused it to be delivered what it had promised. So it is a party that does not engage in idle talk. It is a party that is capable of winning. Our intentions when we get into this into government is to make sure that we put our program into place. The program for the total emancipation of the Zimbabwean person. The program for ending the impoverishment of our people. A program of putting Zimbabwe back onto the international scene. Zimbabwe must be a friend of everyone. Zimbabwe must be a friend of the world. Zimbabwe must not look east only. It must look everywhere because this world is full of friends. We hope in the next 3 days to commence that program. And our program, just briefly, Mr. Chairman, involves the SMART program, the Sustainable and Modernization Agenda for Real Transformation, where we are anchoring on 3 things: transformation of our governance system, transformation of the way we think. It must be the government that must be frightened of the people and not the other way around. We want to change that. And we are going to emphasize on the second aspect, opportunity. Every Zimbabwean is the same. Every Zimbabwean, whether they are Manyika, Karanga, Zezuru, Ndebele, a white, Asiatic, and so on. All Zimbabwean people must be given equal opportunities. The opportunities must not come because you belong to the ruling party. And by the way, we want to emphasize that ZANU-PF people are safest under our regime, under our government, and they have nothing to fear. We want to bring prosperity, and this prosperity, we are saying Zimbabweans are amongst the unhappiest people on earth. But ironically, you find the poorest people on earth on the richest parts of our country. The poorest people you can find on the African continent are found in a place called Marange, in Manicaland. And you and me know that that land where the poor people are situated is the richest because it has got diamonds. Why are they poor? Because of the policies of this government. We want to change that. It was an insult to the people of Chiadzwa that the diamond polishing factory was put in Dawendel, in Mugabe's home area. Why not put them at Hadzel? Why not put them in Marange? Why not put them in Mutare? Why not put them further down in Chipinge? Why should they be put in Dawendel? We think that is wrong. The same applies to other areas where there is endowment of natural resources. Why should the Tonga people who are along the Zambezi be treated as poachers in the land, in the land of their birth? Why should they be last priority in the awarding of licenses for fishing in the Zambezi? So this is what we want to remove, and we want to bring devolution. We want to bring a rights-based society. We want to bring genuine national healing and a competent bureaucracy. We want strong institutions. So that is what we want to do as the MDC Alliance. And by the way, we are already working on our cabinet because and yours truly is in the process of putting the plan for the revolutionarization of the ministry that I'm going to be allocated to. There is one threat, though, between realization of the Zimbabwean dream and today, and that threat is the government of Zimbabwe. That threat is the government of Zimbabwe and the Zimbabwe Human Rights Commission. I want to go to whether these elections are going to be free and fair at all. These elections are not going to be free and fair. And we say so, just to quote the previous speaker, we don't say it based on theory. We say it based on empirical evidence. We judge this government not by what it promises, but what it has done in the past. We judge Mr. Mnangagwa not by what he says in the rallies, but by his track record since 1980. That's how we judge him. And then we say, is he capable of delivering a new Zimbabwe? And our answer, regrettably, is no. So the first thing that is unfair is the voters' roll. Last year, the Zimbabwe Election Commission wrote certain regulations. On their own, the elections voter registration regulations, statutory instrument 85 of 2017. I personally tried to contribute to the regulations, and my paper was thrown away. So these regulations were written by the Zimbabwe Election Commission itself, and they were sent to Parliament and were promulgated into law. Section 9 of those regulations specify what a voter's roll must look like. A voter's roll must contain the name of the voter, the address of the voter, the ID number of that voter, and the sex of that voter, and the photograph of that voter. Unfortunately, right now, the voter's roll that we were given does not have photographs. And we are saying the voters' roll that we were given is not a voters' roll in terms of the law that was made by ZEC itself. The good doctor has talked about constitutionalism.